Okay, sorry for the delays. I couldn't find my headset for a minute. I've been rearranging some things, only to wind up putting things pretty much back exactly how they were. Go figure. But I untangled some cables, so there's that. And yeah, so we're here for yet another Whack-A-Hovind. Decided I'd go on and stream, even though I'm a little tired. End of the work week. That's how it goes. And I accidentally left my own stream up. So I was double checking stuff going on, so I just got blasted by my own voice. Oh. All right. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Let's see. We are just gonna get right to it, skipping preamble. I'm gonna fire up Kent's open mic challenge Q&A, which now just consists of him rambling on like a fucking moron, like he always does for 30 minutes in this case. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't go on and do the Proverbs guys stream that Kent was on. Um, AJ's covered it well. Claude Balls covered it. I'll come back to that. It's just now is not the time for that one. Now is the time to have a more traditional whacking of Hovind. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Wow, only a minute and 30 seconds in. I'm making record time with this stream. Let's do this. It helps if I click the right buttons.
Good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama, at Genesis Baptist Church. Come on down, visit. It's February 13th, 2025. Tonight, open mic. We're going to try it again. If you don't know ad hominem, no personal information. If you're interested in my personal life.
Oh, Kent, from the man who literally goes out of his way to try to dox people, albeit pathetically, but you go out of your way to try to make sure you put people's real names and everything. Obsessed with that. Yeah, I want to talk about personal information. From the man who puts all of his personal business out there. If you don't want people talking about it, Kent, you might not want to talk about it yourself. You ever think about that? Of course, you didn't bring up Sandra leaving. Your own tech guy, who's still working with you, did. Did you give Joseph a right thrashing? Did you body slam him? Oh, probably not, because he's not a woman. And we know you treat men with respect, but women, no, they're nothing according to you. It's too early in the stream for me to getting this angry at Kent. Let's give him a few minutes for me to get righteously indignant.
Too bad, okay? Don't ask questions, I will shut you off. Evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the history of the world. Prove me wrong. We're on a bunch of channels. Let's see. Facebook, Kent Hovind Official, Twitter, and X, whatever that is, and our app, the Kent Hovind TV.tv, okay? Please share a
Oh, I'm glad he didn't say it's only $1 a year, because it's not. It's $5 a month. You know. Um, sorry, I got a text message. But yeah, there's our friend, the crummy pixelated like, share, comment button. Subscribe. Yeah, gotta love our friend.
message. Be sure to hit the like button. Billy, why is that important? If you hit like, it does something to Al Gore? Al Gore's rhythm. Okay, yeah. Let's see. We got a 777 channel. If you can, if you want to donate $1 a day, make us your missionary. 31 bucks a month, 30 bucks a month. Call Bobby, 855 Big Dino extension 1, or email drdino.secretary@gmail.com. There's our website, Dr. Dino. All of our channels are listed on there. Look, if they take us off of one, go to another one, okay? And you
No, can't you take yourself off of them? You violate terms of service and get yourself taken down. It's really that simple.
atheists that work so hard to get us taken off of YouTube, go to YouTube and type in Kent Hovind. There are tens of thousands of my videos all over there. Other people are posting them.
There's not that many, Kent.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Open for almost 9 years, coming up 9 years. Visitors from all over the place. Get our series on the Creation Seminar Series, 18 hours, 50 bucks. You can watch it, return it, get your money back. Can't beat a deal like that. Get our series on what on earth is about to happen for the future. The Bible tells a lot about what's going to happen in the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel. We cover that thoroughly on the video and in my book and in my chart behind me here. We have the big version, And the smaller version is $10, I think. There's the timeline. Yep. Lots of good stuff on there. Okay, here we are. February the 13th. Quickly, to recap what we covered before. It started when we went to look at the Hobart dishwasher. The guy wanted 500.
Oh my God, Kent. No one fucking cares.
$100. My cook said, Kent, Brother Hovind, those are $20,000 machines. When we got there, the guy had a whole garage full of commercial kitchen equipment. I said, what do you want for all of it? He said, $1,500. We got an incredible kitchen for $1,500. It's amazing. But now we need a chef, a cook, okay? If you love the Lord, love soul winning, love our creation ministry, and have chef experience, call me, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 3. Now, Emma Thorne spends lots of time on her show complaining about one of my dissertations.
No, she went over your one dissertation in quotes. The one. What was that, 3 years ago, Kent? She did this forever ago. It's a side effect of the idiocy you spouted when you and Matt Powell did your shit on her that day. Does time mean anything to you, Kent? Is that a problem you have where you don't understand the passage of time?
That I did to get a doctorate. She said it starts off, hello, my name is Kent Hovind. That's correct, Emma.
Yeah, and that's not how you start a dissertation. That is in no way, shape, or form the way any kind of professional writing would start. You write like a child, Kent.
You know, my name's Kent Hovind. If you don't like the way it starts, too bad, okay? And she spent a lot of her show on this show. What was it called? Kent Hovind and Matt Powell Explained and Exposed. She said, this is going to be cleansing. I will not comment, okay? Emma, thanks for sharing our creation material with your audience. They will hear some truth, and many will check out our channels listed on Dr. Dino and come to know the Lord. Thank you, okay? I don't care if you or anyone else likes my dissertation or my video or my books. I don't care. Doesn't matter. If you don't like my degrees, call me Kent, call me Hey You, call me Bubba, whatever you like. Stay on topic. There is no scientific evidence for your religion. None. It's a religion, Emma. If someone goes to school for years and gets a BS, we all know what that is, then they get an MS, that's more of the same, and then PhD, that's piled higher and deeper. And they come out believing they came from a dot of nothing exploding, and life came from a rock, and they got rained on, and they're related to a frog and a strawberry. I don't have much respect for their degree either, okay? But this is ad hominem. This whole is a distraction from the real topic. Evolution is stupid.
No, Kent. So here's the thing you need to understand. The only person who thinks there's any debate here in any of this subject regarding evolution and science is you. You insist upon there being some kind of confusion or debate, and when people make the mistake, that's the only way to phrase it at this stage, is make the mistake of honestly trying to address this stuff with you. They play into your game and give you an opportunity to spout your crap in a way that seems like, oh, you're being taken seriously. What you don't realize is that people have stopped taking you seriously. People like me, AJ, Emma, Sir Sick, Dan, the whole 9 yards, are using you for laughs in one way or another, while simultaneously correcting your idiocy, sure, because we can't just let it stand uncorrected to some degree. But that's all we're doing. That's all that matters, is that we are talking about you. This wouldn't be an issue. This wouldn't happen if you were a decent person. But you're not. You're not a decent person. You're a horrible person. Garbage human being. And we're going to call you out on that constantly and perpetually until time takes its toll on you. Until, the inevitable happens. And after that, we'll still talk shit about you. because you were, you are, you will be, and forever will be a garbage person. Doesn't fucking matter. You could be a full science accepting, non conspiracy, decent person in all regards except for everything else you do. But no, you hang around with people who are very, very not welcome in most forms of society. Those who abuse the weakest and most vulnerable members of society. You are a misogynistic piece of crap who doesn't care what they do to a woman because the man's always right in your world. You treat people who have a any kind of essence of life that isn't exactly how you view life to be as absolute scum. You actively work against people enjoying their lives. You're a shit person, Kent. That's what her video's about. That's what my videos are about. If you don't want people calling you a shit person, quit being a shitty fucking person. It's not that hard.
Now, Emma, you are hereby officially invited to not watch any of my videos.
Oh, trust me, I'm sure she spent a good couple of years without thinking about you till somebody brought you up. And now, because she did the video that got enough momentum for them to get your damn YouTube channel taken down, because apparently a couple of dozen reports of ban evasion isn't enough, it takes hundreds of them. Now, you've got a bone to pick with her again because you're petty like that. I'm gonna get my channel taken down. No, Kent. You fucked around and found out. Then you fucked around and found out again. And you're going to continue fucking around and you're going to keep finding out. The only thing is, you don't realize why the hell anything happens. You have no ability to actually take cause and effect and piece them together in any way proper. Because you're a fucking moron.
You understand? Or you can't read. You don't have to read my books if you don't want. You objected on your video. I just watched a few minutes of it. That I called evolution believers morons. Mm-hmm. Would these words be better, Emma? I looked up what are the British words for moron. You got a bunch of them over there. A Burke, a foolish person. A Charlie, British slang for a fool or an idiot. A tosser, derogatory term for someone who's foolish. A plonker. You ever heard anybody called a plonker? That's what they do in England. No wonder they needed our help to win the war. Okay? A numpty.
Oh, you mean the same country that successfully held off Nazi aerial attacks? That put up enough of a fight that the Nazis abandoned plans to make a landing on British soil? At least, the main British Isles. They took a little bit of territory, but let's not get into a World War II history lesson here. Needed our help. Hey, Kent, would you feel right about the Australians saying that the Americans needed their help to win the war? Because Australia, amongst other nations, helped in the Pacific Theater. Of course, it was in their interest as well. No one does anything simply, out of pure benevolence. No nation does. But still, they were a supporting role and were a factor in the success of the Pacific Theater. You would get pretty offended if they were to say that, wouldn't you? Because your daddy was the only survivor of his platoon. No one gives a fuck about your dad, all right? I don't give a fuck if he was in the military or not. If he raised a piece of shit like you, he couldn't have been that good of a person. If someone deserves respect, they deserve honor. I'll give them that. I don't think your dad deserves shit. Because, again, he couldn't have been that good of a person if he raised you. Offended yet, Kent? Not that you're going to watch this, but I just wonder what would be going through that little pea brain of yours during this. Wow, I am really pissed off today, aren't I?
Scottish term for a fool. Would those help him if I use those words for evolution believers instead? Anyway, these are some comments on her channel, and then I'll take comments that come in on ours. By the way, see this shirt? Somebody had this made for me. My picture on there, over here. And with the whack an atheist. Yeah, there's the whack sign up there. Okay. I like Hawaiian shirts. Kent Hovind made me feel even better about being an atheist. Rob squared 2. Okay. I'm sorry. See how that works for you, Judgment Day. Let's see. Who do you find more vile, Kent or Matt? Might be a good debate topic. Well, gay nomadic. I hate to hesitate on comment on that. Gay.
You know, it's funny given that Kent comes from a time period where gay was generally used to refer to happy, and it was only towards the 60s that it started to be used to refer to someone who is homosexual. You think you'd want to reclaim the word for its original meanings, but I guess not.
Okay. Be specific. What is vile about either of us? We love the Lord.
Let's see. Stuff that I can't repeat here on YouTube because, unlike you, I respect terms of service. But again, you enable PDFs. You have talked about ending the existence of people who simply love a different way from what you approve of, amongst a great many other things. That's the kind of stuff that makes a good person, Kent. Then I don't want to be a good person. I don't want to meet a good person. You are vile. You are wretched. You are scum. You and Matt Powell. Don't want to be called that? Don't fucking be scum then, Kent. It's not hard. Well, not for normal people. Maybe it is for you.
We try to serve him. What's vile? Why would you use that word? Everything. You just like to slap and run. You don't have anything at all, do you? Gay, I'll debate you.
Slap and run. I'm Ken Hovind. I got to use my buzz terms because I don't have anything to actually say. I'll debate you, bro. Debate me, Hovind. Fuck off, dude.
You and Emma and all of you together anytime. And call 855 Big Dino extension 4.
No, Kent. You call me and schedule. If you'll debate anybody, you get off your lazy ass and set these things up. All right, stop demanding everyone come and kiss your ass and beg for the attention of prisoner 0645 2017. You're not that important. You're not that special.
Joseph will get you in there, have a debate. I don't have any lined up this week or month, do I?
Yeah, because everyone's tired of your ass. And the few allies you did have don't want to deal with you, and they take awful risks by having you on their channels. You know, Donnie may be a complete fucking dumbass, but he's still a little smarter than you to realize maybe he should finally, separate himself from the Kent.
Come on. Interviews, but come on, you cowards. Okay. Next, Hedgerow Heathen. He helped me become an atheist. His debate performances were so poor and his opponents so good, it made me rethink intelligent design. You didn't watch it then, son. Okay. Show me which one. Be specific, okay? Keyboard warrior there. Yoso Phaleric. You don't have to be an atheist to feel that way. Guys like Hovind and Powell make me glad to be Jewish. Although I'm sure they would attack me just as vociferously, given the chance. Of course, I doubt Hovind would count a Roman Catholic as sufficiently Christian for him either. Well, Joseph, the Roman Catholic Church believes you have to work.
Okay, this is highly unorthodox, but sometimes you've just got to do weird stuff, like disappear from the stream for a short time. So I am going to press play on something as a holdover. Enjoy some Mega Man 4 remix music while I go take care of something that needs to be taken care of. Be a minute or two. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to get something that was being dropped off. All right. Yeah, you can tell what my favorite Mega Man game is, can't you? And give me again just. Dagnabbit, always follow up stuff. Okay, anyway. Now I can relax. Let's get back to Kent and wonder why we did. Uh,
Work your way to heaven. That's what Cain tried when he brought his fruit and vegetables. Hey, God, look what I did for you. There's two religions in the world, Cain and Abel. Cain brought his fruit and vegetables. Look what I did for you. You got to take me. God wouldn't take it. Catholics are doing the same thing, and many of the Jews are doing the same thing. God gave them the law so they could see, we can't keep this. God, be merciful. But when Moses came down with the law and read it to the people, they made the biggest mistake in world history. They said, oh, yeah, we can do all this. Really. Joseph, don't steal. Have you ever stolen anything? Don't bear false witness. Have you ever lied one time, Joseph? If you break the commandments, you're done for, you know. That's why Jesus came and died on the cross. Jesus was God himself. Came down and said, you guys can't do this. I'll do it.
I mean, Donnie's dumb insofar as he's a fucking creationist.
Lived a perfect life, didn't break any laws, allowed himself to be the perfect, flawless sacrifice. You need to really study the history of your religion if you're Jewish.
Yeah, and the more you study it, the stupider it is, Kent. I'm sorry, but it is.
It'll lead you right straight to Jesus Christ. Okay? Anyway, so you are correct. I don't count.
Lead me down to the bottom of a couple of bottles, maybe. Shit's a painful read. The fact that people take it seriously. Also, since we've got to bring it up, I see that the dinosaur lamp is on. It's the tail end's peeking out over there. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I love one comment I got is that there was a person said there's no not many true dichotomies in the world, but my love-hate relationship with that lamp is one of them. If it's off, I hate it. If it's on, I love it. No in between.
Roman Catholics as Christian in the biblical sense. Okay? It's amusing they are so threatened by Emma to the point where they feel they must defend themselves repeatedly. She's attacking me. I'm just doing my videos all the time. How many videos have I made total, Joseph?
Well, we'd have an accurate total if you could actually keep a channel on a singular platform.
300 a year for 9 years, plus before that, defend themselves. Considering their best defense would have been to ignore her. It's so fun picking on these atheists, though, when they make stupid, stupid comments. I love picking on them, okay? Instead, they do us all the service of a...
Yeah, Kent, and I love picking on you. It's just fun. Not so much because I get to be mean in regards to you. Honestly, I feel slightly uneasy on that, only on the grounds of, you know, I don't feel people should have to deal with this stuff. But you're also barely a person as far as I'm concerned. If someone wants to read too deep into that, whatever. I don't even give a shit. People read too deep into everything these days. You're a shitty person, as I've said numerous times in this stream. So, I'm gonna treat you like the shitty person you are. And do the whack a Hovind, which I don't do, again, for the joy of mocking you, but for the fun community I have. I apologize for being a little exhausted, everyone. I had to run out to grab said item, and I've had a long day, so gotta wore myself out a bit on this, and had that stuff come up out of nowhere, thing being dropped off that got lost, or was lost and then was found, and then it made its way back here. It's not even mine either, so but I'm the one who has to get it because I'm the only person who's actually responsible. Anyway, let's keep going.
alerting the rest of us to Emma's channel. Well, good. Watch it, okay? Hovind is quite literally one of the reasons I became an atheist. Let me explain. When I was a young kiddo, I was a young earth creationist. I was groomed by my parents and my church to believe these things. And Kent Hovind, along with Ken Ham, should be one M, were major influences in my life.
Yeah, Kent, nobody cares.
The skills I learned to debate The skills I learned to debate young Earth creationism eventually led me to actual
No, we're going solo. I have not had the energy to do a join in. I honestly do not have as much fun with join in streams as I do solo. It's not that I don't like having people in with panels. It just, I feel it has a different energy to it. I have to just be in the right mood to want to do one of those. And I'm planning on possibly doing sort of an open mic, semi call in kind of thing. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll see.
science. I started in anthropology, where I vigorously grilled my professor about carbon dating.
Great one from Austin. Caruso Tomato is out of breath because he's running from God, Hovind. Yeah. If you actually pay attention to the story, you would too. Fuck that guy.
I bet she remembers. Slowly, I came to realize that this was reality and slowly came back to my roots debate. I had a grand old time. And by that, I mean lots of crying. Deconstructing my faith. I now have an evolution tattoo. Thanks, Kent. Reality is so much better. Smooches. Okay, I don't know who you are, M69 or 9699.
Okay, I don't know whose live streams you're
I'll be
watching.
glad to debate
What?
you. Carbon.
No, I wasn't even on that menu. I wasn't even on the tab, and you started talking again. Hovind attacks from beyond the internet. Ah. Anyway, as I'm saying, I don't know whose streams you're watching, Austin, because you're saying here Chris rocks because he's passionate and intelligent. He's very well organized in his speaking, even though it's a pretty off the cuff stream. His points are always on fire. I am absolute chaos, condensed into some flabby body. I'm one of those meat puppet skeleton mech things walking around calling itself human, just trying to survive in the world. Don't know what the hell's going on. And then I do this from time to time. I'm not organized. Passionate? Okay. Intelligent? Hell no. So I don't know whose streams you're watching. It's obviously some other Chris. It ain't me, bro. It ain't me. Oh, man.
dating. Stop and think. The sunlight produces carbon 14, which is a radioactive isotope of carbon, which is normally carbon 12. It strikes the nitrogen 14, knocks a few pieces off, and turns it into carbon 14. There's very
Knocks a few pieces off. Taught high school science and math 15 years. Can you name those pieces, Kent? Also, could you use a more accurate term to describe them than pieces? Or again, do you have to describe everything as if you're talking to a 5-year-old?
little bit, a very small amount of C14 in our atmosphere. I'll show you here. Home. Let's see, carbon dating. The atmosphere contains a very small amount of carbon 14. It's got doesn't have much carbon 12 either with the plants breathe, CO2, okay?
And here he goes off into one of his monologues. Everyone step back. This is going to be a while.
Air is about 300 miles thick. Most of it's within 10 miles. Radiation from the sun strikes the atmosphere and produces radioactive carbon 14. It combines with oxygen to make radioactive CO2. Most of the CO2 that plants breathe is not radioactive. A little tiny bit of it is. Well, the plants don't seem to care. They suck it right in, make it part of their leaf or stem or fruit or root or whatever. Animals come along and eat the plant. So,
This just in, Kent doesn't seem to comprehend how carbon is used in organisms. The guy who thinks he's debunked evolution doesn't understand how carbon is used in organisms, in life. The ultimate case of organic chemistry. I don't even have the energy to laugh like I want to.
it gets into the animal kingdom by eating the plants. Atmosphere is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.06% carbon dioxide. That's what the plants have to live off of. And these morons in their global warming scare. You know, brother, when they burn the stuff in the factories and produce carbon dioxide, all the plants in the neighborhood love it. They lick it right up.
No. Plants can only process so much. In terrestrial plants, it's not as much as people think.
the sheer mass of algae and the like and other photosynthetic sea life handles a lot of the carbon. The plants are doing fine with or without the factories. Most of that just gets caught in the upper atmosphere and does things. But, you know, you don't understand science, so. And you just reject anything that's actually explained to you, regardless of how accurate or inaccurate it is. I mean, you could literally explain something completely wrong to Kent, but make it sound legitimate, and he would still fight against it as if it was legit, because he literally doesn't know what he doesn't know.
It's not affecting the atmosphere, guys. Plants grow crazy around these factories producing all the global warming gases, greenhouse gases. You guys are crazy, okay? Anyway, all it does is make the plants grow faster. They absorb it. Okay, never mind. There's 0.0000765% radioactive carbon-14. Or carbon. That combines with oxygen and makes radioactive C14. So some of the C14 the plants are breathing is radioactive. Very, very tiny amount, but a little bit is. Suppose the Earth had a canopy of ice overhead or water over the atmosphere like the Bible teaches. Now the radiation can't make C14. So the plants and animals living under that canopy would have almost none in their...
Yeah, I'm just completely fucking around while Kent goes. I'm just doom scrolling on the same meme over and over. Because I am not paying any attention to Kent. Should probably pay attention to my lovely chat. I've been ignoring you guys a bit. Sorry about that. Just been hyper focused on being pissy to Kent.
tissue. Carbon-14 decays, falls apart. You hear it with a Geiger counter, click, 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 as it breaks apart. And they've got a known rate of how fast it falls apart. Half of it breaks down in 5,730 years. It varies slightly, but that's close enough, okay? So carbon-14 was invented in the 1950s. We go through all this in video number 7. The sunspot cycle affects it. Earth's magnetic field has an effect on the carbon-14 formation rate. And the magnetic field fluctuates. Some of you guys even believe it reverses. How can you measure carbon date anything when you don't have a standard? You have a flexible ruler you're measuring with, a rubber ruler. Because probably before the flood came and that canopy fell down, there was almost no C14 in the air or the animals or the plants. Which means when we dig them up and date them now by today's ratio, 0.0000765%, and say, wow, look, they've gone through 4 half-lives. No, they haven't. They just didn't even go through 1 yet, because you're starting with the wrong assumption. I don't know how they don't get it, brother, but I love making fun of them. Okay? So we go through this before. Cosmic rays hit the atmosphere, change nitrogen into radioactive C14 atoms. They latch onto oxygen and become CO2, radioactive. Plants absorb it, make it part of their tissue. Animals eat the plants and get it into their tissues. Some of the C14, some of the carbon dioxide is as carbon-14, and it's unstable. Does not like being carbon-14. It breaks down.
Every time Kent talks, he says something that's just batshit wrong, and he says it with absolute certainty. Just doesn't matter. Just run his script. Doesn't matter at all. But, you know, we've got a guy who loves science, who loves to learn.
Back to nitrogen, a gas, and escapes. It decays, okay? Based on many tests, it takes about 5,730 years for half of it to decay. This is wonderful. This would be good science. But then to miss the obvious assumption, how much...
Yes, Kent, because your pea-brain, backwards-ass bullshit logic, if you can call it that, is how we determine what is good science and what is bad science. How about you leave the science to the scientists, which you are not? You ever think about that, Kent? No, because Ken Hovind knows everything. He can do everything.
How much was in it?
Except, you know, get away with not paying his taxes.
When it started. You don't know it was the same as today. That's why they say, well, we have to assume that the decay, the ratio of the amount of C14 in the atmosphere has always been stabilized. Because they did study and said, if you took a brand new planet Earth, stuck it out going around the sun radiation is forming C14 and it's decaying at the same time. How long would it take to become to equilibrium? Get it up right here. Okay. It was decided by the guys in all the knowledge about all this stuff. They said, well, it'll take about 30,000 years for the Earth to reach equilibrium. Okay? They said, well, we know the Earth is billions of years old. Mistake number one. We can ignore this equilibrium problem. Mistake number two.
It's where my brain
I told you to
is.
fill a barrel with water. And on the other side, I drilled holes. As you're filling the barrel, it starts leaking out.
I mean, we've reached the point where I'm literally sitting here on my phone watching memes while Hovind just rambles. Just seeking them out, seeing if I can find a good copy of something just to pop on the microphone just for the stupidity of it. At least we're having fun.
Well, at some point, you're going to reach equilibrium where you can't fill the barrel anymore because it's leaking as fast as you're putting it in. That's what they're talking about with C14.
Everyone give AJ an internet hug since he's suffering PTSD from having to debate 0645 2017.
It's being formed by the sun.
You know, that's the kind of trauma that stays with you, man. And he's done it multiple times.
It's being destroyed by its own radioactive decay. Earth's atmosphere, equilibrium. It would take approximately 30,000 years to reach equilibrium. Just Google it. How long would it take the Earth's atmosphere to reach equilibrium? 30,000 years. It's been calculated it would take 30,000 years for Earth's atmosphere to reach equilibrium. Then we said, we know the Earth is billions of years old. Mistake number one. We can ignore the equilibrium problem. Mistake number two. We've still not reached equilibrium. Just
Mistake number three, paying attention to the Hovind.
the fact that we're still not reached equilibrium proves the Earth is less than 30,000 years old, guys. Radiocarbon is still forming 28 to 37% faster than it's decaying. Production rate will exceed the decay rate. Anyway, I go through all this. Been through it 100 times before. You guys don't want it.
Oh yeah, 0645 2017 is his SCP number.
But what was the question I went back to? Let's see. Home. Let me get question. Something about he studied carbon-14 and it drew him away from the Lord. Yeah, right.
I'm Ken Hovind. I gotta go back through all my fucking slides. That little ARKY website he had up. This is it. ARC Foundation of Dayton, Ohio. As we continue to learn more about the utterly astounding complexity of life, it becomes ever more a leap of faith and insist that life came about by blind chance processes rather than from an all-powerful, loving God. This document was last modified 12/6/2024. Holy shit. Someone's maintaining this ancient-ass website. I'm normally proud of people who do that, but fuck. I'm sorry, but dude. Current event list. Oh my god, it's a plain-ass page. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, we got Hotmail email addresses. Yeah, boy. Oh, never miss an opportunity to riff on a good website. Hey, don't get me wrong, my website's garbage, but at least they're refined up to some kind of modern standards garbage. Oh, did that even have HTTPS? I don't think it does. I know how to tell in Chrome. You know what? I got an easy way to tell this. Just a moment. I'm going to check if this thing is secure or not. Not that you're inputting any data to it, so it's technically not necessary. Okay, it is. That's something people get wrong, is thinking that you have to go to secure websites, so one that's not HTTPS is automatically dangerous. It's not. It's just, there's a lack of an encryption, industry standard encryption layer on the data that may be sent back and forth, like, login credentials or something. And even then, it's not that big an issue. It is, but it's also not, It's kind of like how driving is dangerous, but you do it anyway. It's kind of like, it ain't so bad necessarily. Unless, someone just comes out of nowhere. But I'm rambling, which some people apparently come here for. We're halfway through this. We can finish this.
I forgot. I should have questioned. I should have written down which slide number it was. Okay. There we go.
Austin with a banger. That website is real authority on Noah's flood. Hell yeah. We're talking pre-GeoCities, baby. They contemplated doing frames and decided that was too advanced for them, way too progressive.
So M9699, you said, the skills I learned to debate young Earth eventually led me to actual science. I studied anthropology. I vigorously grilled my professor about carbon dating. Well, M, whoever you are, or M and M, two M's, okay. They lied to you. If you think
Eminem, Marshall Mathers.
carbon dating proves anything is billions of years old, thousands, even tens of thousands of years old, you got lied to, and you're a gullible sucker. Okay? Can I use that word, Emma? Is there something English, something? I look up. Is there a British slang for gullible sucker? I bet there is. Okay, we'll find it later. All right. Okay, questions or comments there, brother?
Yeah, Moss Eater, that's how he decided to fill the beginning of his lovely stream of garbage, is just railing on about Emma, because why not, on talking about a 3-year-old video where she read part of his dissertation. Pathetic.
You got somebody who wants to come in and challenge? No? Well, good. We can go to bed early tonight. I'm tired. Does Hovind believe does he believe in space? Outer space, yeah. We have a layer of air around our Earth that varies 10 to 15, 20, 30, 40 miles thick. And then it goes vacuum for a long ways. We don't know how far. Nobody knows how far. If they could find the last star, you know what the next question is? What's after that? Yeah. No question. Space is.
Yeah, because we want to keep learning. Hey, his slides are down. We can see the entirety of the Dino Lamp. How you doing, Timu Dino Lamp? Great to see you. We've been blessed in this video by both Dino Lamp turned on and the pixelated as hell subscribe, like, share, comment.
Is really, really huge. And if you think it all fit in a dot and
Actually, if anyone can find that particular subscribe graphic, or I could just rip it from a video, but I'd rather get it in the highest resolution that I can in its original form, rather than, Hovindized and YouTube compressed. That would be cool. I almost want to use it for something, just for the kick of it. It'd be funny. Also, I just got to point out that the giant pharaoh-esque dude who's on the upper left of his chart, I presume it's like a Nephilim or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know this. I don't know the lore behind all this Bible bullshit. All I think of is that's like Ramsey's fucking pissed, but like converted into a Guild Wars character. Because I'd rather be playing Guild Wars than watching Hovind, but I don't have a choice in the matter. I mean, I guess I do, but I don't. I have to whack the Hovind because if I don't, who else is gonna do it? I mean, I guess a bunch of people, but that's sort of my thing. I do it my particular way, and other people do their particular things, and all together we're a thorn in his side. I don't know where I'm going. I'm having an ADHD moment. Woohoo!
came from a dot of nothing exploding. You really. Oh, you think it's flat? Oh, no, definitely. Kansas is flat. The rest of the world is round. Where's my globe here, brother? I had it. Here we go. If the Earth were flat, it would only be flat for a short time because of gravity. The dirt particles would all pull themselves into a ball automatically. Just like when you let a drop of water come off your faucet, as soon as it starts to come down, it forms into little droplets. Yeah.
That's because of aerodynamics and surface tension in that case, Kent. That's not because of self-gravitation. You need a lot more mass to have self-gravitation result in the collapse of the material to a sphere, and it's going to depend on what material the object is made of as well. It's more complicated than that. So I wonder how old that globe is. Probably still has the Soviet Union on it. But it's going to be up to date enough that East and West Germany are now just Germany. So it's going to be one of those 1990 to 1991 transitional globes as the Warsaw Pact fell apart.
If the Earth were flat, when we get the shadow of the Earth on the moon, so here's the sun over there. The sun shines on the Earth, makes a shadow, and it goes across the moon. It's always round. Earth's shadow on the moon is never flat. Don't get into that flat Earth stuff. It's dumb, real dumb, okay? I don't have time to fight that. Okay, yes, I believe in space, okay? Supporter, $1. $1 like is from me. Well, good. Well, thank you. Daki Wit. Well, good. What's that thing, Joseph, you were working on today about supporting us?
That's where that came from. I think they call it a rant in Rumble. It's kind of like a super chat.
So we just got Rumble monetized.
My ass. There have been ads on Rumble since I started having to go there. I had to install an
Okay. And they can do it.
I had to install an ad block into Chrome to make sure I didn't get like 500 fucking ads. I'm showing montage. Fuck you, Kent.
A super chat or something. Yeah, they call it a rant. It can be any amount? Okay, well, praise God. If you want to help us out, that'd be great. God bless you and your family and your work and everything that shows for atheist and believe people.
A teist. I don't know what a teist is. Or an atheist. No, you don't have to spell.
Can't pronounce that name. Well, thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Marius Lachowski. Kent, come on. It's easy. It's very easy. You can read, right? Serious question, Kent.
Yeah. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. It's free. And if you're a good cook and love the Lord, have a clean life, and don't drink or smoke or curse, come on down. We'll give you a job. Yes, sir.
I got a question, Doc. I was just reading a little bit about the Geneva Bible, and I was going to do kind of a more in-depth study on King James.
Right.
How many different versions, or what do they call it, revisions of the King James Bible is there?
So this is a bit of an interesting run from Sponge Robert Cubicle Trousers, excuse me. Chrissy, are you Canadian or U.S. American? Because I wonder if it's possible to get all the public documents, considering GBC is a 501c3. I've done a cursory look into things, didn't find anything too tasty, but I might spend a bit more time. I just don't know what all there is to, dive into, or what we'd really gain from a lot of the documents, though. That's the one problem, is that, like, I don't know a lot of details, but I know enough to know that anything we see would be pretty uneventful. The fact that there are documents on government websites and that processes have been done would is just going to result in your absolutely bog standard government tax paperwork and all that jazz. Nothing fun to look at unless you're an accountant. Nothing that we wouldn't expect.
There were many revisions. The Geneva Bible was very good. Geneva, Switzerland, it was done. I've got one right up here. Okay. You can go to avpublications.com. That's Gail Riplinger's site. She covers all the history of the King James. The King James was the 7th English translation that was ever made. I think maybe there's some symbolism there, purified 7 times.
Interesting thought there, Sponge Robert.
Psalm 12, 6, and 7. God promised to preserve his word. Some of the early translations were very good, and the King James translators they studied all of them to see, which.
Yes, I vote for staying home rather than going to DAL.
Which is the best way to translate this phrase. And so I think God finally preserved it for us in the King James 1611.
So when they say like revision, there's not much difference between the 1611 and the...
What happened in 1611, printing a book was pretty crude. It wasn't.
True, yeah. It was actually Polish and un-Americanized, and it's Lakowski. Yeah. I should try harder to do the pronunciation. I do. I always forget that when I see your typical Polish name. I immediately Americanize it, which is weird because I try not to do that with other stuff. It's hard to tell my brain, like, Chris, go for this accent, go for that accent, because I feel like I'm being pretentious by trying to accent things too much, because I tend to pronounce the accent. Oh no, I talk weird. It's just what happens. Okay, capiche?
Like it is today, So they found out after they printed the King James Version, they had some spelling mistakes. The printer, because you got to put the letters in there backwards for each word, you got to get it printed on the paper. So they found some typographical errors. And so in 1768, I believe, is when they corrected all those, and they came out with the corrected, but it was simply spelling errors, or sometimes words had lost meaning. So they put a different word meaning the same thing. But so it's all talked about on Gail Riplinger's AV publication. Matter of fact, we got some of her books right here. I got a bunch of her fabulous stuff on that topic.
Oh, is she going to be wife number 5, Kent? Huh? Who's going to be Ken Hovind wife number 5? Is it Kyle's mom? Is it whoever she just mentioned? Is it that woman he went to high school with who's probably dead? Is it Joseph in a dress? We'll find out next time on the saga of Kent fucking Hovind.
Okay, good question. So the Geneva Bible's good. King James perfect. My humble opinion. Okay, verified. I have a question. Does Doc know if there's any writing or hieroglyphic talk about Moses? I think there's lots of that, if I recall. It's not something I deal with normally, but I read that somewhere. Go to Ron Wyatt. Ron Wyatt did a lot of stuff on the archaeology. They found Moses' grave.
Ron Wyatt didn't find a goddamn thing ever. Full stop. You want to know one of the many, many reasons people don't take you seriously, Kent? Ron Wyatt, your obsession with Ron Wyatt is one of them. You need help.
Right. Maybe it wasn't Moses' grave, because they argued about that later in the book of Hebrews. Check WyattMuseum.com or Richard Reeves, R-I-V-E-S, David Reeves Ministry. He would know on that. That's David Reeves. Tell him to keep reading his Bible. He can be a Baptist too, okay? Easy love talking eschatology, Kent. I'm preparing myself to talk with my mom, who is hard-headed pre-trib. I was pre-trib.
Oh, I'll bet those are probably joke cans of prebiotic soup, or they may just legitimately be Campbell's soup cans, and he has them up there as a joke of, prebiotic soup. But he actually looks like he sprung for the real deal, not the generic, great value crap.
For 40 years, easy. If you get my little chart where I go through the bottom is the 6,000-year history of the world plus the 1,000-year millennium. So I believe all of world history is going to get in 6,000 to 7,000 years. This little yellow stripe here is greatly expanded to be up here, and the little purple stripe, what represents 1,000 years, is greatly expanded here, the day of the Lord. And I cover all that in my book and on my video series. You can get the video series, or you can watch it online. See it over here? Whoa, here it is. What on earth is about to happen? 21 hours on the.
Yeah, I'd rather watch all 9 Star Wars films and then watch them again. Yes, I would subject myself to Rise of Skywalker 2 times, then watch that. I'd rather watch The Room on repeat for 20 some hours. I'd rather watch Birdemic for 21 hours. I dare say I'd rather watch fucking VeggieTales. That would at least be funny. And I'd still probably learn more. Not anything I give a damn about, but at least it's got characters and personality. Kids clearly liked it back in the day. I don't know. I was too old for it, but hey. Apparently people don't hate it, even though it's religious. Unlike you, who we'd hate even if you weren't religious.
That topic. I go through the whole.
And I mean, and that, I did that little rant at the beginning, and I should stress it again here, that should be the thing that, out of anything that Kent gets, is that even if he was on our side, but behaved the same way he does now, we would still hate him. It has nothing to do with his theological propositions, although that's what drew us in to combat that. But as we learned that he was truly a scummy person, it then became clear where the real battle needed to be fought. because he stopped being a joke and started becoming someone we realized was actively harming people.
Whole thing, the Bible says. I was pre-trib. When I was in prison, I devoted myself thousands of hours to reading everything I could find on the subject. And I had to confess, I have believed something that's not true. We're here for the tribulation. See, tribulation is what the world does to us. I was guilty of confusing tribulation with wrath. When you ask pre-tribbers, are we going to be here for the tribulation? Oh, no, because the Bible says we're not appointed to wrath.
Look, I'm not saying So I actually have a intro that I had made and used for a few videos, and then hopefully it's archived somewhere that I have access to. It was digital video that I made, sent the file to a modded Xbox of mine, copied it onto a VHS tape, and then recorded the output of said VHS tape playing back to create the intro. It's in a few of my old videos. It's kind of cool. Yeah, Kent having stuff on VHS, that like modern stuff, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. I don't know what kind of hoops. Well, I do know what kind of hoops, but I also don't, if that makes sense. They jumped through to make that happen, but if so, oof. That's just pretty wild.
I think what you just said, we're not appointed to wrath. But Jesus said, in the world ye shall have tribulation. This 7-year period, known as the 70th week of Daniel, is all talked about on the chart. What really got me was Matthew 24. It's on the back here. Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21. At the beginning of these chapters, Jesus' disciples asked him, Lord, when are you coming and what's the sign? Simple question. When are you coming and what's the sign? When are you coming? What's the sign? When are you coming? What's the sign? He describes the tribulation for the next 15 or 20 verses. And at the end, like to take the Matthew example, Matthew 24, 29. Get your Bible and read it. Immediately after.
What I want to know is, why is it not a PowerPoint slide? Or a series of them that he can jump to and show even better? He has to hold up that physical laminate. That's just mind-boggling.
After the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then
and the powers of the Hovind will be shaken, and then we'll show Lord Yamato, and Lord Yamato will point to Kent and say, fuck you. And Kent will be banished from the internet for all time. DAL will lose its internet connection, and everyone will just have to fucking deal. Hovind.
shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. This is the rapture of heaven with power.
Alt DV, everything's got to be Alt DV. Hovind.
For great glory. He shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet. They shall gather together his elect from the four winds. It couldn't be more clear. They said, Lord, when are you coming?
Yep. It's as clear as a brick, Kent.
After the tribulation. What's the sign? The sun and the moon are going to go dark. That sign, sun and moon going dark, mentioned 10 times. I got them all on the chart right here. Sun and the moon go dark. See, this is the day of Christ when we're raptured out. The day of the Lord is a 1,000-year period. And I got all the verses in here and in my book about that. I really poured myself for.
Okay, so hear me out. What is a cross but, as South Park told us, a lowercase t? Cross is supposed to be a bad thing, but it's seen as a good thing. But you think Jesus really wants to come back and see a bunch of the things he was murdered on? So hear me out. You remove the T. Move the cross, you remove the T. You're left with Chris. See where I'm going with this? I'm only matching Kent's level of ego here. Only difference is, I know I'm being a fool. Kent takes himself seriously. But you see where I'm going, I'm sure. The 1,000 years of Chris are at hand. I will banish the Hovind to the Shadow Realm. And then they're going to send him back and be like, nope, don't want him.
For years into that study. I had to say, look, I don't like what I'm finding. But the church has always taught we are here for the tribulation. Until 1830, a 15-year-old girl in Scotland had a dream about the pre-trib rapture. And that dream spread like wildfire. Guys like Darby and Schofield, they spread around the world. And many people believe it. They're going to be sorely disappointed when it doesn't happen. They're going to fall away. Yep. Okay, any more? I would love to work at Nice Adventureland. Well, Keldron, come on down. We let anybody come.
Kent, you just admitted that people work there. Work implies employment. Now, if he said, I would love to come do work, that has a different meaning to it. But work implies employment. Are they employees, Kent?
Come try it for a day or two. If you want to get the application, they still go to Grantham for that, right? Or is it Titus? On the website. Yeah, we don't want people here that the police are looking for. We don't want people here that.
Kent, if that was the case, you wouldn't have anybody there.
Drug, any problem with drugs? I mean, if you had it in your past, that's fine. We're at zero tolerance, drugs and alcohol, gone. Okay, so, but yes, we'd love to have anybody. We need some more people here. Come on down. Some people stay for a few weeks. Some stay for a few months. Some stay for a couple of years. Some want to stay for life. Some stay too long.
Yeah, because we buried them in the sand dunes. Hovind, there's totally not bodies out there. And just don't go looking hard. Otherwise, you might be one. Hovind, it rubs the lotion on its skin. Or else it gets the Bible again. Hovind.
Oh, we got to tell them, get out of here, okay? Is the channel off YouTube? Yeah, it is. Dimitri, again. Dimitar. Yeah, probably we're not even going to worry about it. There's just so many people are already showing my videos on YouTube. We're just on Rumble and all these other channels. Let's see. Home, 4, enter. Yeah, there's all the channels run. Oh, put my slide up there, brother. Get any of those. They're all listed on drdino.com. Okay. Randy Meeks, you were a big part of my Finding God 15 years ago. Thank you. Or Randy, spread it around. Send it to somebody else. Share this.
Spread it all over your face and all over your chest and all over the Hovind. Spread word. Yes, the word. If you know what I mean. Hovind.
Video and any of my videos with everybody you know. Please do. And be sure to share the one I did February 1st about open letter to Donald Trump. Share that with everybody. I want to get my case overturned. Pay what they owe me. I'm going to buy Alabama and maybe Mississippi. I don't know.
It very much should go against the 501c3 policies, but that stuff's never enforced like it should be because the country is a half-assed theocracy already.
A mountain
So, you know.
bike. I thought you'd mentioned the joke, I'm post-trib because it's supposed to happen. I never. That's the first I heard that one. I like it. All right. So nobody brave enough to call in. Okay.
Oh, so the calls are open again? Kent, it's probably because you have nobody watching you. The people who do watch you are too tech incompetent to actually be able to call in and don't have anything to say anyway. And the rest of us just don't care. I don't know what I was busy. Oh, right. I know what I was busy doing. I was rebuilding an analog telephone adapter after doing a deep clean. Didn't fix the problem, but at least I gave it a clean. I was rebuilding parts to a desktop payphone. Failed miserably. Figured out this morning that I just needed to whack a piece into, like, no joke, just bang it until it went back in position. And I was cleaning out my computer because it has a bunch of, dust and incense residue. Smells nice. It's getting kind of hot, though. So I had more important things to do. And then I eventually went to sleep at like 9:30, which is late for me. Oh, and I played Guild Wars. Let's not forget Guild Wars. You know what I'm going to do when the stream is over? I want to take a wild guess what I'm going to do when the stream is over. First one to guess wins an internet cookie.
Well, Adam was not created old. He was 0. He looked old for our standards, but he probably didn't think he was old. He probably looked around and said, man, I'm brand new, So by our judging people, we guess Adam was, probably prime of life, 72. But he came fully formed, had a fully formed computer. He could walk, talk, name the animals, get married first day, had a vocabulary, a fully loaded computer. So I think it's necessary. I think all the animals were made full grown. I think the trees were made full.
Oh, yeah. AJ, I will totally be there.
Grown with fruit on them already. But that doesn't mean they're old. It just is necessary. It gives to us, it gives the appearance of age. To Adam and Eve, it didn't. He watched God make them. Watched him make them. So I understand your question. But no, it's not a way. We don't need to compromise with those who think the earth is billions of years old. It's just not. It's about 6,000. All right, any more?
This guy, Nate Knowledge on TikTok said like you were his favorite TikToker, and he's starting to make videos on the false live evolution.
Amen. I want to encourage thousands of you to start making videos and spread them around the world. There's a war going on. If you can't.
Oh, here we go. The war going on. It's okay to lie in wartime. That's why Hovind lies all the time. And also, I use this violent symbology because I don't understand the concepts of peace because I'm a right-wing fucking nut job who worships a despotical, tyrannical fuckwit of a deity. Hovind.
Shoot the machine gun, shoot a pistol, do something, okay? Yep.
Oh, trust me, Kent. You come to the right areas of Memphis. Wrong areas for most people, but the right areas for you. People would be doing that. They'd show you how good they can do that. Just, it's honest truth. Because you'd stick out like a sore thumb. Me, I'd blend in. I'm native. They'd hear me talk. Use the lingo. They know I'm no threat. You'd be lucky if they left you with any clothing. Take your glasses, take your shirt, take your shoes, take you everything. And then charge you for the privilege of robbing you. Why? Because you're you. And they could smell you a mile away. It's funny how cities like Memphis are. How people who are just absolute shit get detected. Some would call it karma. Some would call it mob justice. I call it just being out of towner. Oh no, something about him bringing up guns just made me think about, the rougher areas of town. But, I'm the guy who dropped me off downtown. Just go do whatever the hell I want. Wander around, have fun. Know where to go, where not to go. Where to be, when to and when not to be at places. You just know. I don't know where that tirade was going. Wasn't even a tirade. It's just me rambling. Just having fun here. Let's continue so AJ can get to streaming.
Somebody made this Hawaiian shirt for me. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. You want to buy mine? Yeah, they want to buy it. Who was it a couple months ago came by here, and they were real broke and didn't have any money or anything. They said, man, I wish I had something, a Hawaiian shirt. I just gave them the shirt right off my back. Here you go. You can have this one. I got like 50.
Oh, good. You like giving away clothes. Come up here, Kent. I'm giving away a lot of things.
50 of Hawaiian shirts, but I don't want to get rid of this one. Yeah. Make a good offer. I might consider it, okay? All right. How does one go about purchasing this Hawaiian shirt? What do you think, Joe?
I totally agree, Tyler. That is exactly what I think Kent smells like. Honestly, here's the crazy thing is we have Grayson, we have Billy, we have Big Bad Mama. Know for a fact all three of them have been in Kent's presence. And others who I may not be able to recall at this time. So we could always ask them.
Joseph, what's it worth? $50 and I'll sign it.
And thank you, Shunk Company. Says, I haven't got to meet yet, but I enjoy your content, Kadisu. Let's spread Kent's videos about Kent. Like, yes, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm going to spread it everywhere, all over. Spread Hovind all over the internet so people can see the truth about how insane this man is. Because something he relies on is the fact that the average person looking up his stuff is going to get one of his older, rehearsed, refined speeches. They're going to see young, everything's, he's calm, collected, everything's cool Kent. They're not going to get raving old man who's angry at the world Kent. But this Kent that we see going more and more unhinged as these videos continue, apparently has always been the real person. He just hid it very well until post prison.
Yeah. Make a donation to the ministry if it's autograph. Yeah. Whack an atheist. Okay. See you tomorrow night. We'll do the same thing. Open mic tomorrow night. You guys work up your courage. Drink a little vodka, whatever you guys do to get your courage up, and then call in. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye.
So full of himself. Let's see how this ends. Oh, no, it just cuts out to the Dr. Dino logo. Okay, well, there we go. We had fun with the Hovind whacking. I'm tired. I am tired. Did have a fun time with you guys though. Thanks for bearing with me for that little bit of a break in the middle. And yes, I agree with Maria. He gives boomers a bad names. Actually, Jen Jones. Yeah. There's an interesting thing is that it's not all this, not all that. It's not all boomers. Not everyone of that age range is a complete piece of crap. There's plenty of people who are amazing. It's the same ratio for every generation. It's just for some reason historically scumbags have been the ones to succeed in life, whereas the good people have been the ones to just things don't go well. It sucks. And yes, that is pictures of himself on that particular shirt. It's extremely creepy. And yep, Kent does think he's so scary. Scary Kent. Ooh. It's hilarious. The best thing about Kent Hovind is, and always will be, the fact that he gave me, by existing, an option to do these kinds of videos with the great inspiration of people like AJ and others. And I finally decided I'm going to put myself out there and see what happens. And us all having some kind of common denominator in our understanding of Kent and our desire to take him down a peg, as in all the pegs, just one at a time, led us to learn more about each other and become the friends we all are. And that's just the coolest thing. That we're we're all here and we can just have fun and be ourselves. But I'm gonna go get ready for AJ's stream. I'm just gonna be hanging out in the chat. I'm gonna be maybe getting some dinner. Might get some cereal. I don't know. Maybe something light. Definitely get more soda. Sorry, I live off soda. But yeah, as always, much love to everyone. Y'all are just the best. As always. Tune in to AJ's stream. I'll see all y'all there.